my friends. Welcome to Storytime Express. My name is Miss Rebekah with the Shaler North Hills Library. And unfortunately, usually at this point I'll say, and that's Miss Ingrid behind the iPad, but she's not behind the iPad right now because this isn't being recorded or streamed live on Friday. I'm recording it early on Thursday morning because I won't be here tomorrow. So, just so you know, I'm not saying hello to Miss Ingrid behind the iPad, but we'll say hello to Miss Ingrid out there. Hello! So, I have some stories to share with you all today, but first we'll get started how we do each and every week that we are Storytime Expressing with our ABCs. You ready? Here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, O, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? Whoop! Here's your 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What are we going to do now? We're going to count backwards from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Very nice, my friends. Let's do a rocket. Let's do a rocket. Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. If you wanna take a trip, climb aboard my rocket ship. Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off! Very nice, my friends. Let's jump into our stories. Our first story, the title is The Cat Man of Aleppo by Irene Lazam and Kareem Shamsi Basha. Illustrated by Yuko Shimuzu. What do you think this book is about? There's the back. Always look at the back of the book, too. Here we go. The Catman of Aleppo. First, we're going to read a note from Allah. He is the gentleman in the story. Dear reader, this is a story about cats and war and people, but most of all, it is a story about love. Because my love for cats, I'm now helping all kinds of animals, as well as people and children, orphaned from the war that gripped my country of Syria for 7 long years. Generous people from everywhere are helping me support and improve my community. We now have an orphanage caring for many children and clinics and shelters helping many animals. You can help too. Remember, both people and animals suffer pain, and all of them deserve compassion. Together, we can make the world a better place. From Muhammad Allah al-Jalil. Allah loves his city of Aleppo. He loves its narrow alleys and covered bazaars selling pistachios, jasmine soap, and green za'atar. He loves the boiled corn and dried figs offered on the street. Most of all, he loves the people of Aleppo. They are gentle, polite, and loving like him. Even when war comes to Aleppo, Allah doesn't flee like so many others. He continues his work as an ambulance driver. He swerves through rubbled streets and carries the wounded to safety. He comforts and holds them. Allah has a big heart. Allah's work is important, but he misses his loved ones. Where are they now? Are they safe? He misses the way things used to be before the war. Aleppo's city center no longer echoes with the rich, exciting sounds of copper pot pounding and traditional sword sharpening. His neighborhood is empty, except for many of the cats left behind. The abandoned cats roam crumpled buildings and prowl filthy alleyways for food. Their homes have been destroyed, and now no one is left to love them and stroke their backs. No one is there to give them food and water. The cat's lonely, confused faces remind Allah of the loved ones he has lost. So many goodbyes, so many people he hasn't been able to help. So many days he feels lonely and confused too. On his way home from work, Allah stops the ambulance. 2 cats call to him from the branches of an ancient olive tree. 3 more peek from a Syrian juniper tree. Allah's big heart swells with love for them. Bombs may still fall, and his loved ones may never come back to Aleppo, but there is something he can do. He can look after the cats. After a shift the next day, Allah uses the little money he has to buy fresh meat. When he unwraps the meat, the cats raise their heads and sniff the air. They are extra hungry. Te ata ata, Allah calls. Here, kitty kitty. A dozen cats rush toward him, their tails high. He gives them bits of meat and talks softly to them. The cats chew and purr, purr and chew. Soon their bellies are full, and so is Allah's heart. He smiles and pets the cats, and they love him back. Allah brings meat and water for the cats every day. A dozen turns into 20, and 20 turns into 50. He can no longer care for the cats alone. I need a place to keep them safe, Allah tells his remaining neighbors. Together we can save them all. Word spreads and volunteers arrive. Donations pour in from many different countries. Everyone wants to help the cats of Aleppo. Allah collects enough money to buy a building with a shaded courtyard. He names the sanctuary the House of Cats Ernesto, in memory of a friend's beloved cat. Soon cats are everywhere. Orange cats, striped cats, white cats, gray cats, and black cats. For every cat there's a dish of food and a bowl of water. Now, when people must leave Aleppo, they bring their cats to Allah before they go. Hope and love fill people's hearts when they learn about the sanctuary's success, and they send more money. With so much support, Allah is able to rescue other animals too. He builds a playground for the children still living in Aleppo. He helps dig a well so everyone can have fresh water. He distributes fruit, me'amul, and barazek cookies to the people he meets. Allah's big heart is happy. All he did was love the cats, and that love multiplied and multiplied and multiplied again. He still misses his loved ones and the way Aleppo used to be before the war. But now Allah is known around the world as the Catman of Aleppo. Allah loves his city of Aleppo. He hopes one day soon its bazaars selling pistachios and jasmine soap will return, and he can enjoy eating boiled corn and dried figs. Meanwhile, he loves the sanctuary's courtyard filled with fat, sleepy-eyed cats. There is no place he would rather be. Again, my friends, good listening. That was the Catman of Aleppo. Now, so we just met Allah, who has a big giant heart and helps the cats and people and just really, really loves his country. So we are now going to meet another person. Her name is Jane Goodall. This is by Isabel Sanchez Vergara. I think you'll like Jane too. Another big-hearted person. When Jane was a little girl, her father gave her a stuffed chimpanzee named Jubilee. She carried him wherever she went. Jane loved animals very much. She wanted to live in the jungle with wild chimpanzees, just like the heroes of her bedtime stories, Tarzan and Jane. At night, her mother read her their adventures. But Jane could not afford to go to college to study animals, so she would have to study them in her own way. She saved every penny she had until she could buy a boat ticket to Kenya, which is in Africa. When she arrived, Jane met a well-known scientist named Louis Leakey. He was looking for a chimpanzee researcher willing to study them out in the wild. He thought that they could learn about humans by studying apes. It was the opportunity Jane had been waiting for. So, Jane took another journey to the shores of Gombe in Tanzania. To start with, she couldn't see any chimpanzees, but she had the feeling that they were near, watching her. Do you see chimpanzees watching her? She decided to sit quietly in the same spot day after day after day. Finally, a small group of chimpanzees appeared and let her sit with them. Jane had been accepted into the chimpanzees family. Instead of numbering them, as all the other scientists did, Jane decided to give every chimpanzee a name. There was David Graybeard, Flo, Flint, Fifi, and Gigi, just to name a few. By watching them carefully, she noticed that some chimps were kind, quiet, and generous, while others were bullies. It seemed that humans and chimps were not so different after all. Which one's the bully? Which one's kind? Then Jane made another incredible discovery. Chimpanzees could make their own tools. This was something only humans were thought to be able to do. What's the chimp doing with that stick? Putting it in the ant hole. And then when they pull the stick up, what's all over the stick? Ants! Not something we would want to do, but, it works for them. Jane's talent was quickly recognized by Cambridge University. Here, she studied for her doctorate in animal behavior, and it wasn't long before she wrote her first article for one of the most famous science magazines. Jane continued to study chimps in the Gombe for 40 years, but jungles were starting to disappear across Africa, which put all animals in danger. She knew she had to do something. Jane joined countless projects to protect nature. She was no longer just a courageous researcher, but also the most determined wildlife defender the world had ever seen. And the little girl who loved animals challenges us to be kind to nature. Because if chimpanzees can live in harmony with their environment, we can too. The end, my friends. And that was Jane Goodall. Okay, let's cruise on. We have 2 more stories to go. The title of this book is, Are Your Stars Like My Stars? Are your stars like my stars? Do we all see the same stars up there out of our eyeballs? I think we do. This is by Leslie Helikowski, illustrated by Heidi Woodward Sheffield. There's a bunch of stars. I bet my eyeballs are seeing the same stars your eyeballs are seeing. Are your stars like my stars? We look at the world every day, you and me. Do we see the same things? Do you see what I see? When you squint at the sky, do you see the same hue? Hue, that means the shade of color that you're seeing. Deep, wide, and open. Is your blue? Are we seeing the same blue? Yeah. When the sun gazes down, shining yellow and bold, is it warm, full of sparkle? Is your gold like my gold? Ooh, look at that. When you dig in the dirt, planting seeds in the ground, is it earthy and rich? Is your brown like my brown? There's more brown. Ooh, those cookies look good. What shape are those cookies in? Pig, right, yes. I've never seen a pig-shaped cookie before. Do you splash in a puddle when the world is washed clean? Are the leaves fresh and bright? Is your green like my green? When you stroll in an orchard, do sweet smells fill your head? Is the fruit bold and flashy? Is your red like my red? Does your shadow grow long as the sun starts to sink? Are the clouds soft and rosy? Is your pink like my pink? When your eyes are shut tight, do you peek just a crack? Is the night smooth and sleepy? Is your black like my black? When you stare at the stars, do you see the same light? Does it glow in the darkness? Is your white like my white? We look at each other every day, you and me. Do we see the same things? Do I see what you see? Yeah, my friends. Our last story for today in Storytime Express is Lucky Tucker by Leslie Mcgurk. What holiday do you think this is about? St. Patrick's Day. Here we go. Lucky Tucker. Here we go. Next week will be March 17th. When Tucker woke up on St. Patrick's Day, he got off on the wrong paw. First, he had to go for a walk in the rain before breakfast. Then his favorite squeaky toy got stuck under the couch. Just when he thought it couldn't get any worse, a black cat hissed at him. My luck needs to change, thought Tucker. What if I roll in this bed of clovers? Maybe their luck will rub off on me. Little did he know that he was being watched by a leprechaun. You just rolled in my bed of clover, four-leaf clovers, the leprechaun said. Now you'll be the luckiest dog around. And off he ran. Tucker chased after the leprechaun, but he got sidetracked when he saw a boy licking an ice cream cone. The top scoop was about to fall off. Tucker made the catch. Wow, what a lucky dog, the boy said. By now the leprechaun had disappeared, so Tucker decided to go to the dog park. Today was his lucky day. He got to play and wrestle with all of his best friends. On his way home, Tucker passed by the bakery that sold homemade dog biscuits. Aren't you a lucky dog, Tucker, said the baker. I've got a peanut butter shamrock, a chicken-flavored pot of gold, and a cheese-flavored horseshoe just for you. When Tucker arrived home, the mailman was delivering a big box. You are the luckiest dog I know, the mailman said, because this box is for you. To Tucker. Tucker tore open the box and jumped inside. His owner said, Lucky Tucker, you were supposed to have a bath tonight, but let's play with your new toys instead. Finally, it was time for Tucker to go to bed. It was his luckiest day ever. He was already dreaming about next St. Patrick's Day. The end, my friends. That was the story about Lucky Tucker's lucky St. Patrick's Day. My friends, thank you so much for spending your precious moments with us here at Storytime Express. Now, before we go, shut your eyes. It's time for make-believe stamps. If you have a long sleeve, pull it up. Now, think of what your make-believe stamp is going to be. Is it going to be a shamrock? Is it going to be a cat or a chimpanzee? Or maybe it's just like a beautiful rainbow filled with all the colors and how they look the same to you and to me. Okay, get it in your brains. Put it in your ink pad. Hey, look at my cat. It's a rainbow cat. Oh, yours are pretty cool too. Very nice, my friends. Well, once again, thank you so much for spending your precious time with us. And we'll see you all again next time. Goodbye, my friends. Have a good day.